All right, everyone, welcome to our 30-minute presentation on Introduction to Web Development. I'm Offensive Torta. I'm also known as Matthew Navarro. I work at the city of McAllen as a cyber analyst, and I know it's kind of like, why are you doing web development, or why you talk? How can you talk about it? To be honest with you, for the past couple of weeks, I've sort of been delving into it, just trying to get to web. Has always been a weak spot in my, I guess, like knowledge base. So I recently saw a presentation for Rails 8. It's a Rails World. It's a conference that they have for Ruby on Rails. And, I saw the keynote, I saw some of the presentations, and I'm like, dude, you know what? This is a really cool framework. So I started to look into it, and it's been my introduction to web development. And I just kind of wanted to share everything that I've learned and maybe inspire somebody else to either decide if this is something for them, because I think most of it comes down to exposure. If you've never been exposed to it, you don't really know what it is. So that's kind of just my goal for today, is to introduce everybody else to the same things that I've been introduced to, and hopefully we can have some fun with it. So let's just go ahead and get started, right? So I have VS Code open right now. One of the cool things about Ruby on Rails is that it's known as the one-person framework. And hold on once. Can y'all hear that? My dogs?
A little bit. It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Okay, sorry about that. So Ruby on Rails is known as the one developer or one person framework, meaning that they've built this thing out to empower the single person and to try to make a single person as productive as possible. So, and I can show you a little example of that here. So here we have just a blank VS Code project. I have a, here is my, folder. It's the Odin project blog. And what I want to do is just, let's go ahead and make a brand new project. So to do that, we're going to type in Rails. We're going to type in Rails, and then we're going to type in new, and then let's do blog. And right there, just by typing in Rails new blog, Rails has created all of these files for us. And it's still making them. And a lot of this, again, has to do with like the 20 plus years of development that they put into it. So there's all this stuff being spin up for you in the background. How do I view? Oh, here we go. So now I have all of these folders, all of these files. To be honest with you, the main ones that matter for, I guess, beginners is going to be in this app folder. And today we're just going to focus on what's called model view controller, which is just I don't know if it's like an architecture or what you would call it, but model view controller is essentially a way for, I guess, programmers to understand. Well, I'm not actually, I wouldn't really understand how to convey to you MVC, but I can show you what that refers to. So here we have controllers, and controllers essentially have like code that controllers essentially act like the brains of the application. What they'll do is whenever they receive a request, they will pull from the database, which is the models, and then they'll pull from the views. So you know what might be better for you is if we can just sort of see what's going on here. So we'll cd into store, and then let's clear that, and let's just do this. Then Rails, or not. Oh, I'm sorry, because I'm not in the folder. So bin Rails server essentially takes whatever you have in your code, and it'll run like a local server for you. So let me see if I can figure out a way to, it's kind of difficult because I only have one screen. Let's see here. Sorry, y'all. Can you see My browser?
No, we can still just see your Visual Studio.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I could get that up and running for you. Okay, let's see. I'll just share my full screen.
Brave man, brave man.
So I have Discord open. Just making sure I don't have my 1Pass open or something crazy. That's just my API keys. Who cares about that, right?
Yeah. No one can do anything with them.
No biggie. API keys. All right, so here we go. Let's close that out. How about that? Can y'all see that?
CVS code.
CVS
Yeah.
code. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool, man. Okay, so that's essentially, let me close this out. These are all the files that I showed you. We'll close this as well. Sorry, this is just a really big terminal. All right, let's try that one more time. So it's Rails S or Rails server. And then, so this is kind of, you basically have a website that's running. And if we made changes to this, we can see it in real time. So let's go back to the tutorial that I've been reading. And you know, I'll put this in the chat. This is the tutorial that I've been using to sort of, wait, where are we? Oh, we're in a room, right? Oh no, we're not. We're not on Discord.
Yeah, we're on Google Meet. Yeah, I know it's gonna throw everything off.
Throwing me off so bad. Okay, I'll post it in this chat here.
Yeah.
So, one thing I will say is that Ruby is it's almost like pseudocode. So, for me, I just sort of jumped in, and you know, and I do have a little bit of programming experience, but not a lot, man. I wouldn't say I'm proficient in anything. So, you know, I would say just jump in, follow the guide, and you know what? Let me just open that up right here. Yeah, that way we can follow along here. So we ran Rails new store that essentially creates all these files. We CD'd into the store, or they're calling it a store. I typed blog, didn't I? Yeah, I typed blog. Okay, whatever. Let's just follow the tutorial. Okay. And you know, it sort of just shows you all these folders and what they mean. This is what essentially what I was trying to convey earlier with model view controller. So the user is going to send a request to the controller, and the controller sits in between the view and the model. And based on what you're requesting, the controller has the logic to pull a little bit from the model and plug it into the view, and then they'll send it back to the user. And so the views it's actually a really cool concept, because the views are just HTML templates or templates in general that you can build in preparation, and you can get as granular as you want. You could have partial templates that can be plugged into full templates, and it gets pretty complicated for what we're trying to achieve today. So I'll just let you discover the power of it. But yeah, that's a good diagram, and the database is all the way back here plugged into the model. So we ran the bin Rails, which gives us this little application, okay? And so one of the things you have to do first is let's get some items into our database. So again, one of the cool things about Rails is that you don't have to really touch SQL queries or SQL language. You can do everything in Ruby and think about it from an object-oriented perspective instead of having to write raw SQL queries, which, you know, if you've ever done any of those like web hacking boxes, a lot of them are based in PHP. And when you open the code, a lot of them have just raw SQL. So I don't know if I would go as far to say as this is safer, but it definitely prevents you from making common SQL mistakes by just having everything written in Ruby, and you just avoiding what's happening here. So let's go ahead, and so what we're doing here is we're creating a table. Models are essentially tables. And what we've done is we've said, let's create a table called product, and let's give it one column with the column name, with the name of name, and the type is going to be a string. So, this would essentially be like you could picture it as like a Excel sheet, like a Microsoft Excel. And there's going to be a one column in the Excel sheet called name. And the only kind of data that you can type into there is going to be a string format. And string format, that's actually a reference to SQL. So it doesn't abstract everything from you. You still have to know how relational databases work, but it definitely removes the complexity and the tediousness of managing a relational database, of having to know how to like get your SQL string queries perfect. Now we've like essentially just made this table really easily. And I don't know if y'all have messed around MySQL, but this is way simpler for me versus spinning up a relational database. And what's cool about this is it doesn't matter if you use MySQL, Postgres. When you write this on the back end is intelligent enough to know what kind of relational database you're going to use, and it'll do it for you. It even works with SQLite, which is file-based. So let's keep going. So now we've made this table, right? But it's still abstract. Like we don't actually have anything written to our database yet. And that's where you got these things called database migrations. So database migrations will take what you've done. So this is our, I'm sorry. Let's go to DB migrate. So this is our proposed change, right? This is what we want to write, the schema to our database. We have a table called products, and it has a column called name, and the type of data you're going to put into the column is string. So you have this, but once you want to make the change, then you have to do this command called db migrate. And db migrate is essentially whenever you push this code to production and you have it running in the real world, db migrate will ensure that this replicates or is visible in your database. Whatever database you hook up to your code, this is going to get pushed to it. And then what's cool about that is every time you create changes, you have these migrate files, and you can see it almost acts like Git in a way, because you can make a modification to this, but the file name will change, and it'll be something else. We'll see that later on down the line. So this is Rails console. Let's keep going because I really want to show y'all just high level how fast we could build a product here. So let's go down to routes. Let's go to our config file. Let's go to routes. And then this is the only route. A route is essentially when your browser sends a GET request or it's looking for a path. So right now, this is essentially like we're typing in localhost port 3000 and then root, right? But let's say we wanted to do something like we want to view our products, right? We're not going to be able to see anything. In fact, we get an error because that doesn't exist, not yet. But we will go ahead and copy this code here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add that in there. So that way we have a route to go to slash. So let's go ahead and type in slash, and it should still give us an error because we don't have any code that belongs to that URL. But we're going to go ahead and fix that in a bit. Just make sure. Yeah. Wait. No. Let's go create records. Nothing there. Just want to make sure I'm not skipping anything. Okay. So we'll keep going down. This is a really good diagram explaining to you how routes work, what they are. And if anybody is interested in this and you want to go a little bit deeper into it, or if you want me to, we could hop on a call. We could go deeper into these topics. Right now, I'm just trying to speed through this to get y'all interested. To give you a little taste of, what is happening here? This is why nobody uses VS Code. Oh my goodness.
Lots of people use VS
Hey,
Code.
there's nothing wrong with it.
No, I thought everybody uses Vim.
Ew.
Isn't that
Notepad, yeah.
Notepad, right? Or I heard the most popular one was Microsoft Office or Word for coding. It's got Clippy in it, which is the superior AI. So we'll just copy all these routes in there, and we'll worry about what they do later. So you have this routes command. Let me see. Oh, yes, that would be benefit. So instead of typing these out like one by one, you could just do this. And of course, this is not like best practice because it creates all the available verbs. So this supports post, get, delete, update, head. So put, patch. So it's not the best thing to do, but we're just demoing right now. So this is not best practice at all. Controllers. Okay, so we have routes now, right? But remember that diagram that we saw earlier. Let's see, let's go all the way back up here. So, oh, you know what? This is actually better. Let's do, sorry, y'all. Let's do this one. So when the user they want to see products, the router is going to see the file. It's going to check their file. Oh, you know what? Might be better if I just leave the routes there for you to see. Yeah, these are all the routes. So let's just do that. Okay, so when the user, and this is perfect, they want localhost /products. They're looking for something at that URL. And then in the params, that essentially means like, what's the verb? Is it a get verb? Is it a post, a put, a delete? So the browser is going to send two things, essentially, a verb, an HTTP verb, and a URL. The router is going to take those two things, and then it's gonna try to map it to an action in the controller. So if we look back over here, what we can see is that we have. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
So we have get products. That's the verb, and then that's mapping it to something called products #index. So there's some kind of action called index that a get with the /products maps you to. And this is kind of like, if you ever gotten into like web app hacking, it's always been hard for me to understand the behavior. And by learning this, I'm like, it makes so much sense now, because now I know that, the verbs with the URLs, you could do a get products and a post products, and they're going to map to two different things. There's two different actions associated with the same URL endpoint, but just because you change the verb, now the web app is going to act differently. And that was a connection that I never understood for the longest time. And it wasn't until I started learning Rails to understand how web apps work that it clicked for me. I'm like, that makes so much sense. So this is why when you do API fuzzing or you're working with a form, they say go to every place where the application accepts user input and just start throwing as many things as you can. Like those are probably the first things you want to do, because they're most likely to give you a way in, because then you'll end up interacting directly with the database, because these routes map to controller actions, and this is actual code that will run, and this code goes down to the model, and the model goes to the database. So just a little side comment, like it was really, really cool when I started learning that. So let's keep on going down. Okay, so controllers. Again, controllers are the pieces of code that get executed that are mapped to a URL endpoint and a verb. Okay, so let's make some of those. We don't have to do anything by hand, because Rails has all these really cool, effective CLI. What would you call it? Like commands for us that help us get all the boilerplate code out of the way. So Rails generate. We want to make a controller file that's associated with products, and we just want to make the index action right now. And we don't need to make routes, because this command will generate routes for you automatically. But we already have the routes. We just type them in here. So index action for products is right here. We've already made it. So we're going to skip that. Oh, man. Oh, you know what? Because it keeps making a new terminal every time. That I'm like, why does it keep asking me that? All right, so let's generate that, and then look at that. So it created for us, actually it created for us a couple of things. It made the controller file that we're gonna use right now to display some stuff in the database, but it also created a view file for us. So look at that, index.html. So let's try to find that. That's gonna be in the views, and then it made a folder called products, and now we have this HTML file. So what we have here is just really fast development. You don't have to spend a lot of time manually creating these things. There's boilerplate code in there for you. And let's try, by now we should be able to, nope, that's not it. By now we should be able to try to, let's see what happens if I hit products. Wow, look at that. Okay, so that code right there, that's what we see here. And the way that worked is my client sent a get HTTP verb. It asked for products. This went to the router. The router had a rule. Oh my goodness. Bro, I just want to. The router had a rule called, if you have a get and a product, then that's going to be mapped to products hashtag index. Okay. And then let's sort of keep going. So once you find this, then this is the controller, and this is the action inside the controller file. So that is then going to fire off to the controller called products. And then in the products controller, it's going to look for an action called index, and they're all labeled as functions. Okay, so let's go look for that. So controllers, there's our product controller, and here's that index action. So routes, if you have this verb with this URL file, go to this controller and look for this function. So here's the product controller, and here's the function. Okay, cool. So now we're working up to how we get this. So by default, this says, and again, this is probably should. So this function, how does this function display this view? So by default, if there's nothing here, Actually, that's a good idea. Let me leave that there. By default, if there's nothing here, or the last thing it'll do is it will display the index view of products. So, and again, this is all like, they put a lot of thought into this to make it as fast as possible. So if we go to views, we go to the products folder, we see index.html. And notice how you have like similar naming schemes. Like a lot of the power, a lot of the automation has to do with the naming schemes. For example, we created a model called product. We created a controller called products. And then we have a folder in the views with the same name. Wait, where am I at? Products. And then we have different actions that map to the same like the actions that are in the configuration or the routes folder. So this is index, right? But if I wanted to do def new, this is great actually. Oh, that broke. I guess we should stick to the tutorial, huh? So let's go back. So essentially what we did right now is we essentially made from beginning to end, getting a browser request to hit a controller to show an HTML page with something on it. So making requests. Let's type in this code here into the this was all. Let me comment this out because that would be interesting later. So instance variables, okay. So here what we want to do is we want to go to our controller, which is controllers, product controller. And we want to display something that is in our database. So what we'll do is this is a variable. And then here what we're going to do is we're going to pull from the product table that we made. And we're going to pull everything that's in the product table. So we'll copy paste that into our code. And right now we'll save that. We'll go back to our page. And right now we don't really have anything in there. So it's not going to show, oh, that's happening because of, well, we can leave that there. That way you can sort of have a visual. But yeah, we don't have anything in our database. So look at that. There's nothing here. So let's try to figure out a way to make some data. Oh, you know what? So this is a way to. So if we go to our view here, app views products controller, and we just paste that in. This is just an HTML tag. Product. So essentially what this is saying is we have this variable that's being passed to our HTML file from the controller. The controller is taking from the database and it's making a variable that your code can reference. So we're taking objects that are pulled from the database, and we're going to loop through it, and we're going to print every single one of them out, and we're going to just display the name that was in our column. So now we have this website that's going to print out stuff that we have in our database, but we don't actually have anything in there yet. So let's try to create a way for the user to go and do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another function. Oh yeah, it's already auto completing for me. Sweet. Okay, let's save that. So now, well, this is showing individual products. So what this will do for you is it will show you. Well, let's go to our routes to see what that maps to. So I have to type in products. Let's take that and let's type in an ID. So 1 or 2. And it's giving us an error because again, we don't have anything in our database yet. But let's say we had 5 items in our website. We can reference them like this. We could add numbers, and the numbers refer to the object in the database. So let's just kind of keep going down here, showing individual products. You do it with this function here. We'll take this code and we'll throw it into the show HTML file, which is views products. Actually, you know what? We don't have one. So let's make that. Have that. And then it's asking us to re-edit our index code. This is happening in, okay, so let's create some products. I think that's what we need to do. So let's go to our controller. We have an index, which is like the main point. We have a show our products, but then we need now a way to make stuff. So let's just paste that in there. So we have that now. And let's do, oh, it's telling me to update. Okay. Oops. Whoops. Okay, we have an issue here. Oh, okay, okay. So I think this is saying that I'm having a route issue or an index. New product path. Yeah, here we go. So let's go back to our routes. I think we don't have we have a new products new. And then that will, oh, okay. So I think we need to put something in our controller. Just make sure that we've done everything right. So that's the show. All right, I guess it's time for live troubleshooting, y'all.
Nothing like breaking your product live.
Yeah, nothing like breaking your product live. Okay, so hold up. Let's just sort of read through this code real quick. So we have div ID products. We're looping through all of our products here. This is the H tag. We don't actually have anything, so nothing is being printed. But what we're not seeing here is okay. So this is the home page of the products, right? This is the index. But what we're trying to do is get a link to create a new product. So let's go find that in the tutorial here. So there's product index. Let's see. Product index. We don't need the model, so we'll close that. Let's see. We have index here. We have a route to new. We have create, show, edit, update. We can give her no. That's a put. Okay, so that all of those verbs seem right. Destroy, update, edit, show, create, new, index. All that seems good. Okay. So this is what we want essentially. We want to be able to combined with a link to helper. So let's take that and we'll throw that into our index. Products each div href. Isn't href like an anchor? It shouldn't that? Oh, that'll send you somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll send you somewhere. So let's push this here outside the anchor tag. Yeah, because this is one thing. Oh wait, no. And that's so that goes all the way down. Oh no, hold on, let me. Div. Why does it come out like that? It's really weird. Oh, it just needs. Okay, so let's save that. Let's go back over here, refresh. We don't see anything. Inspect. Let's go to the body. Products and products. You know, it's crazy, man. I don't see the this is not getting populated right here. Maybe it's because hold on. Let me put it outside. Oh, what did the AI say I should do? Yes, take that. We'll take your suggestion, see what happens. Just broke. Okay. So undefined local variable or method product. Product.name. Oh, you know what? Because there's no if I go to my models, there's nothing here. I need a way to reference that. Okay, so let's see. So these are my controllers. In the controller, I think I have those, right? Index, show, new. Okay. The new action instantiates a new product. I'll take that, drop that there. Everyone's talking about how it's like super powerful and easy, right? No, but I promise, man, it's like I've been messing with it and it's super fast. It's I don't know much about coding, web development stuff. Like I could hack together, a really bad Python script, but this has really helped me because it abstracts a lot of the complexities and it's just been really, really cool. Let's go to new. Oh, look at that. We got something new just by making a new file. let's type in Matthew. And all we did here is we made a new page. So let me just copy this. Oh, let me show you. New HTML ERB inside of the products. If I delete that, it breaks. So I just need to make it again. Paste in that code, which is just a form. It's a web, but it's written in Ruby. So that's another thing that's cool is that I think HTML and CSS is like super convoluted sometimes to deal with, especially forms. So being able to just write the language that you're using to do the form magic is really convenient because it almost reads like pseudocode. Like form HTML is really ugly to read, and this is super cool. But on the browser side, it renders as regular HTML. Oh wow, now it's not working. Oh, whoops. Nope, I broke something. Okay. Next. Cool. All right. So we'll keep going. Form width. So this dude, look at that. That like it's ugly to read, and you basically get all of this with this line, these two lines, that line. You know, super cool. Okay, so we should technically be able to see any products that we make. We can now make a new product, but when I try to do it, it's not pushing. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, I still don't see it being presented. So let's figure out why that is. So you have, oh, you know what? Okay, so here's an interesting thing that I've learned. Just because you have a form and just because you can type in data here, when you click product, you still need to write a second component to handle the post request to the web application. And in Ruby on Rails, they break it up into new and create. So the create actually does the magic on the database to create that object or to create that thing that you wanted. So here we're going to the database and we're saying, I want to make something new. And it's going to be whatever's in here. And whatever's in here is whatever you type into the form. And then there's some database stuff that I don't know anything about right now. But let's just keep going here. So this private basically means that it's a helper function. I think it's just like a good coding practice. So, oh yeah, okay. So product params, this function is being called in here, and there's my thing name, product table, and then the column name. That is going to be plugged in here, and then it's going to go to the database. So let's save that. Let's write my name. Let's create product, and it breaks because there's a redirect. Okay, undefined method product URL. So let's see, what file is this? If product save. Oh, redirect to @product. So it's the same file that we're working with here. Okay. Let's see. Redirect to product. Okay. The redirect to products is broken. If the save is successful, we want to redirect to it, which means it wants to take me back over here to look at my, okay, so this file is broken too. Define. Okay, let's go here. Where's that? Index HTML. Products each do product div link to product name. Let's remove that. No, it's not working either. Let's go back up and figure out why this file isn't working. Maybe I'll learn something new also. So let's see. Let's do this. Let's find out why we're not seeing it. Okay. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know what this means. I thought it would give me a clue, and it didn't. But let me try to see. Name ID. There's my column. Oh, you know what? It's missing something here, though. Oh, look. There's my object, though. Matthew. I created that. So name. So it has an ID. It has a string created at, updated at. Okay, yeah. And you can, so this is telling you the structure of the table. So let's go back to DB migrations. So here I have my string, and implicitly, you will also have the created at somewhere in here. So it'll say something like t.created at. This is implicit, meaning that it doesn't say it, but it's there. Like Rails knows to add these objects, or to add these are technically rows. So you'll have a string column, a timestamp, a created at, and updated, and then they get filled out. But you know, that's what we're looking at here. And this is a debug statement, so it's just printing out everything from the database. So that way we can try to figure out what's happening. But yeah, man, it should be working. Let's see. Let's just keep plugging away at this. It's a tutorial, man. It's not supposed to be this hard. I just probably mistyped something. And when I did this earlier, it worked perfectly. Like the first time that I ran through this, I was like, oh, wow. And I had like a blog. I had a store up and running in like, what was this, like 45 minutes that I walked through this whole thing. So I encourage you, if you find this, if you let this not be this is supposed to be your intro, but it's a pretty bad intro because I'm having all these issues. But it shouldn't be like that when you follow along. So
you're doing it live. That's what cursed you.
So okay, let's see. Let's follow along the tutorial. Let's save that. Okay. So we created the controller. Okay. Let's see. Controller products. Let's just delete all this, man. Start all over. Okay. We have an index. Empty that. Let's empty this. Let's empty this. Let's go back to our routes. Let's delete all that junk. All right, let's go back to routes. So we'll take this products index. That should get us here. Yep. Okay. We should also be able to hit products. Nope. So we have the route. Let's go find the controller. That's the model. Controller. Here we go. So we have, okay, so it's empty, which means it should show you, we should be able to find a file called products. No, we should be able to find a file called index.html in the products folder of views. So let's go to views. Let's close all this stuff out. So views, products, and here we go. Okay. So this is it. All right, there you go. All right, so we got everything cleaned up. Let's keep going down. So they're saying, let's add this line. This is saying that if I wanted to do a post verb with the URL, it will to redirect me to the create function. Okay. So let's go to routes. That is under config, routes, and we'll paste that in there. Cool. So now, within the browser, I can't add a verb manually. But if I had something like a verb suite, I could do a post verb and I can go to the URL, and theoretically, whatever this does, it would kick it back to me. But we don't have anything there. So let's go ahead and add this as well. This is getting a product with a specific ID. No AI, I don't want that. No AI. And then there's this funny, that's an example, but we're not doing that right now. So keep going down. We can add routes, or you can just do this, which is everything. So let's, we'll take that, paste it there. These are all your routes. Okay. And then this is what I've been trying to, I guess, explain is that you have controller, hashtag action, products, index, create. These are all the actions that you can write in your controllers. These are the UI patterns. So this basically explains everything. This is the template. Once you get used to this, you can understand the rest of the routing. So we'll keep going down. Close this out. We have that already, I think. Views, copy that. That's just an extra line in there. It doesn't matter. Making the requests. Instance variables. Okay, so this one is where we start building out stuff. So the model. No, this is the controller. Sorry. Back to the controller. We'll paste that in there. Oh boy. Okay, so essentially here, we would pull everything from our product table and we would display it. And we can prove that by taking this code and going to index. And if we paste that there, we have nothing because we haven't actually pushed anything to the database yet. So let's keep going. Let's update to show all of our product names. Okay. And here's where it breaks. Why? I don't know. I think it is because sorry, y'all, that was my dinner. So here we have, let's run that again. Why does it break? So products.each, undefined method each for nil. See, oh, because it's probably it has to be because there's nothing there. So you can't loop on a product if there's nothing. So that might be why it's breaking. I'm not sure. Okay, so we'll just keep following along the tutorial here. Does that do it? Oh, there you go. Okay, okay. I never saved this, so like it didn't. You see,
Yeah.
this is the greatness of you could have this experience too. There you go. So I deleted everything, y'all, because I never made a certain save. Whatever. But these are the joys of programming. So I can't go back and man, I deleted all my HTML files and everything. Anyway, so when I was typing it in, I had made all that stuff, and then things are breaking. Okay, let's just keep following along. So let's add, open the product controllers and add the show action. What does the show action do? It defines a singular product. So again, if I think I typed in my name like maybe 5, 6, 7 times. So let's try. No. Oh, let's see. What did I do here? Show template is missing. Oh, okay, got you. Because there's no. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, that's gonna work. Could not find. Okay, so one. There is a product with one. It's trying to do it, but I don't have anything in here yet. And you can tell that it's actually trying to do something, because when I do 2, it says cannot find the product with ID 2. So let's go back to the tutorial and just keep plugging away. So we have the show. And then we need a view for the show action. So let's go to app views. Views. Oh my goodness. See, it's not on the right path. So we'll just copy this content, paste that here. Oops. Okay. So let us redo that. No, that's still not working. It should show the product name. The show action expects a file. Oh, look at that, because it's not in the right folder. Let's move. Let's refresh. Yay, look at that.
Yay.
All right. We're making progress. Then this is probably the funnest part about all of this, is getting angry that it's not working. And then all of a sudden you realize it's not working because you forgot to do a certain action or whatever. So, all right. So let's go back, continue reading the tutorial. It'd be helpful for the index page to link to the show page. Yeah, because right now I can't actually see anything. So we can click on them. So let's update this page right here, the index, which is this code is on this page. Let's have a link, right? So where's the link at? Products. Oh, here we go. So we have that link right there, that href, that tag. Okay, save that, refresh, and then there you go. So now we can link back and forth between the index and the show. So we're making some progress. It's getting better. And then we have these routes. These routes are kicking in every single time. And you would be able to see that here in your Rails server. So let's just keep going. Combined with link to helper. This, I think, what does this do again? So the link to's product name. What are you doing here? Oh, you're deleting these 2 lines and you're refactoring. You should be. product path. Link to product name. Let's find out what that does, man. So Rails link to, let's just find out. Let's do some live research here. Link to, how is that supposed to work? So the body, the URL, creates an anchor element, the given name, a URL created. So what are the examples that we have? Link to profile, link to but this isn't a link, is it? Product name. And the path or URL link to the href product. I don't know, bro. I feel like somebody came in here and they're just trolling, bro. They probably like changed the code intentionally.
It's okay. It never works when you're live. It never works how you want it to.
But that, I mean, it's so weird because I'm literally following the guide, you know? And
Yeah.
that's what I think is strange. Like this worked literally maybe a month ago. But anyway, let's not. This essentially this is just trying to refactor these two lines because you see here product name like that. That's okay. So this piece of code is what's displaying this right here. So if I delete that, hold on. If I just comment that out and then refresh, oh, what the heck? Now there is a mystery. But does it work though? Can I click it? It does. Wow. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. I don't know. It's been like an hour, bro. I was hoping to have this whole thing built out for y'all. So let's just like sort of speed run. So def new, that allows us to build new products. And then let's go back to index. So we'll go back to the blog. No, that broke. Yeah, the index broke. Which will be used. Okay, so let's do the new. Type in this code here. Does that work now? Nope. Okay. Here you go. Link to new product path. Okay. New HTML. Yeah, you skip all that. You don't have to code it up. We'll copy paste this code into the controller. Save it. And then where does that go? Redirect to product. It's working out? Nope. Just keep going. Hope for the best. Do we have an edit in our controller? No, we do not. Well, it really does not like this. New product path. New product path. Can edit the show. Oh, you gonna delete that? Okay. All right, man. I'm just gonna remove that. I have no idea why it's not working.
When in doubt, delete.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yep, and that's usually what happens. I don't know what this code does. I'm
No.
gonna remove it, and it breaks the entire thing.
Let's do it. Let's go. Let's put it back. Set product. Let's see. This is very strange, brother. For action set product. Let's remove that. Let's not be silly. Wow. This is crazy. Edit product path. Back over there and remove that because for some reason it's not working. Okay, so I have my stuff there. Okay, let's try to. I don't trust you, man. Oh my goodness. These are we've already written a partial for creating new. Yeah, you know what? Again, I went too fast and I didn't read. Redirected product. There, this right here, that should be, is there an underscore? Do y'all see an underscore somewhere here? Link to product name product and the path for the href attribute product. Right. Creating products. So new product path. Yeah, dude, I don't know why this should be working. This is just a shortcut for these hrefs. So instead of typing in HTML, you could just use Ruby code, but I don't know why that's broken. So I'll have to mess with that after the stream. So right now we don't even have the ability to. Can we do new? To create product. So the redirect breaks. And where is this one at? Product controller. Product new. We're just gonna delete it. No checks. Just write to the database. That's never bad, right?
Yeah, do it.
Oh, oh, hold up. There's a bad end somewhere. What does that do? Okay. Jeff. Create that. Oh, but now it doesn't write to the database. Oh, it does, but it doesn't. Oh, because it's supposed to redirect you here instead of you just like continuing to like type it in. There's no the user can't they're not like notified.
Yeah.
But then when you go back to, oh look, it didn't write that one though. Yeah, for some reason it's not working. I wonder why, dude. That's so crazy. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We have dude, look at all these errors that I've just been ignoring. Okay.
So if we've learned anything, we've learned could do the tutorial, but do it slowly and go through each step.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna do a part 2 because this has been like an hour and a half. We're closing in on an hour and a half, and I don't want to take y'all's time anymore. But no, yeah, it's it's cool. I've had some ideas like web apps we can build for the community, just to not necessarily like stuff to sell, because we'd have to pay for the hosting and whatnot, but like applications, ideas for people who, if they really want to get into it, I have some ideas, and I'm gonna build it first. That way, this doesn't happen, or I'm like, I don't know why it's breaking, but sort of like walking through a certain project or a template that people can go through after I'm done. And if they do have questions, I could sort of direct them to the answer without actually telling them, you know. But yeah, if anybody's interested in this, hit me up, man. Let's build some cool stuff together and just sort of enjoy coding before AI ruins it for all of us, takes it away. But yeah, man. Sorry, y'all.
No, that's cool. I mean, the learnings about successes and the failures, and learning from other people's mistakes and stuff is always great. So, I just had one question before. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if anyone else has questions, but how long have you been playing with this? Like, you went from 0 to where you are. Like, how long about?
Dude, it's been like 3 weeks.
Oh, damn, that's not bad then.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks, and then I've sort of been using AI to just build random projects because I need to learn web dev for my job. Like, we have all these applications that I need to know more. Like, there's just security has a stretch thin, and I've never liked that. Like, other people can answer the questions, but I can't. And it's just one of those things where you notice a weak spot in your personal knowledge. And I had pushed it off forever, dude. Web applications. And I'm like, you know what? The best way to learn is by doing. So I was like, what's like one of the easiest ones? I've done a little bit of JavaScript. I didn't want to deal with fighting the language. I'd rather fight, I mean, I feel like no matter what, man, you have syntax battles, but you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, right? Where like JavaScript is cool, it's very flexible, but I feel like if you spend 30 minutes writing code, you shot yourself in the foot. Right now, a week from now, a month from now, and a year from now, like, you're just gonna, like, your decisions come back to bite you. And I just needed something friendly. So I stumbled across this. It looks like pseudocode. And I mean, Rails has been around for a long time. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up, man. I'll learn how to use it. And because, like, really, I'm focusing on the high level stuff. Like, how does it work? How does a web app really work? And it's been really interesting because now I can go back and I'm like, that's why my burp suite wasn't working. It wasn't giving me back what I wanted. That's the reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's been super, super insightful.
Cool. Yeah, I'll turn. I don't know if anyone else on the call has any questions.
I need to check this out. I need a product detail point. Oh, dude, Express is Node is pretty cool. I messed around with it for a week. It's pretty cool, man. Running JavaScript on the endpoint is like a server side stuff. That blew my mind when I figured out you could do that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, y'all.
Cool.
We could keep, as I get better at it, I'll try to get some more content or whatnot. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. And see you in the chat. And then I guess we could end the recording there. If y'all want to hang out longer, we could.
Stop recording.